Hi, Jeremy. Nice to be talking to you. Appreciated our conversation as we went over the outline for our kosha workshop coming up here, and really digging into each of the five layers of not just the kosha model, but who we are as a as a being, as an entity, as a human being. Right, starting from the most peripheral or the Manamaya kosha, the outer body, and working, drawing deeper into source or spirit. And I was appreciating not only the nuance at each level, so how we can develop greater harmony within our physical body or mental body and so forth, but how all the components can come together into one singular, unified expression, as opposed to a fragmented experience, which is actually more common. That the mind feels pulled off in this direction, and our health might be pulled off in another direction, and the breath is caught somewhere between those two experiences, and feeling either connected to spirit or not connected to spirit, and so that they appear as all these like trying to jam puzzle pieces together. And what the kosha model offers then is a way to integrate all these pieces that would may be out to pasture. And I'm curious what your reflection of like what is that process? How do you bring things more singularly into sync?
I think you made a really good point because I think most of us have that experience of fragmented parts of ourselves where we're kind of rushing around trying to tend to this part and then that part and then this part, all sort of as separate pieces, each one of them having their own little embodied expression of dysfunction or disharmony or conflict or whatever. And that's why I think this is such an effective model because, like you said, it does take what is a model that represents separate parts, but show how they really all interrelate, and that the idea is to that they work together rather than as separate parts. And for me, the process is recognizing that as we have, as we're experiencing life or our yoga practice, and we have these moments of disturbance, that it's an indication, it's like a little voice calling our attention. And when we give it our attention, we can see where is the disturbance and how is it manifesting? In what ways am I contracted? Is it physically? Is it in terms of my breathing? Is it in terms of my mind? And by giving attention to that, we can enter this space of allowing it to be there, allowing ourselves to feel it, and recognize that it's there to give us a message. And so if we can go into this moment of inquiry, then we can find out what it's trying to tell us, what it's trying to teach us.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, what I'm hearing is there's initial recognition, and then the more bodily hatha yoga kind of orientation, and in terms of skills or practice, is the then to first see and then begin to shift that energy into a more integrated space. And we can do that either through our body or through our breath or through our thoughts. And the one technique in particular that comes to mind as a kind of keepsake for any viewer out there, uh, we just it's very so fundamental, is breathing in a 1-to-1 ratio. So making your inhalation, your exhalation in the same. So say a 4 count is a standard, or 5 or 6, so long as it's 1-to-1. And what doesn't get mentioned as much in the 1-to-1 is really that transition, that arc between top of the inhalation and bottom of the exhalation, that too is contoured or made smooth around as you kind of follow this elliptical pattern of breathing, just simply 1-to-1. And I find that to be like the singular entry point method. It can kind of like touch all these layers as in as integrated a way as you can in one simple method. So 2 to 5 minutes of that.
yeah.
Well, I look forward to unpacking a lot more of this with you, Jeremy. Uh, there'll be a place around here where people can sign up for our Pay What You Can first ever Jeremy, Wolf and Derik Eselius kosha workshop coming up here starting February 18th. again, look for details. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Look
Yeah,
forward.
thanks, Derek. Look forward to having you guys.
All right, peace.